What's up, guys? Hi. That's the other camera. So I'm watching a movie. Lots of stuff going on in the world. I'm watching a movie called The End. What's this called? How It Ends. It's got that one guy, black dude. Can I say black dude? Is that racist? Really good actor. I forget his name. But anyway, it's a really good movie about like prepping and stuff. And it made me start to think about like what. Well, it's not just this. It's I guess the main thing that really got me thinking recently is this book that I've been listening to, actually, in Audible, and it's. I actually talked about this book in my podcast like a year ago, maybe longer. Definitely when I was in the old house, like we're talking like maybe 3 years ago, and it's by Michael G. Hopp, and it's called How It Ends, and the first one is called This Is the Road or The Long Road, or one's called The Long Road, the other one is something else. But anyway, I'll put the links in the description. So the first one is basically an EMP, and I think that that's probably the most it's probably the most realistic, and the guy who reads it out loud is amazing, and he just has this real deep story voice. Like, it makes you just want to just chill out and listen to the story. Like, I literally sat on the couch and just chill listening to this guy talking this story, just the way the story's written, the detail. Like, I always talk about writing stories and how important it is to put detail into the story, because it's all about the detail. That's what embraces us into it, or that's like, for me, that's what like captures me into something, like, like the amount of detail. Something in my eye. So the book is an EMP. The guy's an ex-Marine, and the book just has so many realistic variables to how this could happen. And you look at our situation now, and it's totally like the quiet of the storm. Like, it almost seems like, but there's still, depending on what city you're in, it's like how do we get out of this, and can we, and how real is this going to be? Like, the only way, and this book makes you seem like because like basically the big cities, you don't have a chance, unless the only way you do is if you bet on it happening early enough that you got out before it actually happens. It's the only way. You're not, if something happened right now and there was an EMP in this city or something like that, I would not probably, my chances of survival would be very low. Because there's only one way out of the state, and where I'm at, there's really only one direction to go, and that's west. You're not going to want to go south, because you're going to end up in Florida. You're not going to want to go, well, maybe you'll end up in Canada. I mean, north could be an opportunity if you'd want to freeze your ass off. And generally in a prep situation, that's not ideal if there's other opportunities. But like, you're not going to go west very easily. I mean, you could try southwest down into Texas would be ideal, and even up in the high mountains. But like, the likelihood of you getting there, and like, just when you think about how this happened. Now, I'm not saying that like, but well, I'm probably gonna delete that part out, because I really got to watch what I say, and so I wanted to kind of talk about that too. Like, I really have to watch what I say in this podcast, because they've been shadow banning me. Ridiculous. Like, I cannot believe I got 1,000 views on a video, seemed like it was doing great, and then all of a sudden I complained about the video because it got demonetized, and I'm like, whatever, which I shouldn't have done. I guess they looked at it and they just banned it altogether. It's still on there and you can see it, but it literally gets like 5 views, maybe it maybe gets a view a day, and if that. It might go 2 or 3 days without one, and then 1 or 2 days with 3 or 4, whatever, So it's been really tough. So I got to really watch what I say, and I'll just blank the word out. We're going to continue with the conversation. But, saying with that, with China and what they have going on with us, and maybe I shouldn't even say that. It's like, what can I say? What can I talk about? I mean, if you talk about anything that's real, it seems, or anything that isn't, I don't know. I just don't understand what the point and what benefit it does to quiet everyone that has a different opinion. And so, which brings me to part of this is the quiet of the storm. And don't get it wrong. This is the beginning of a war here. There's just so many signs, and I think that the people who survive this are the ones who are picking it up early. Like if you look at some of these big time preppers and guys that got money and they can go out and open a homestead and do this whole big deal. They're doing it now. They're not. This has been something they've been building for a long time. Pretty sure I just catch that mosquito. I did catch him. I don't like that you're in here. Oh, he's gonna try to bite the. I don't want to ruin my deck of cards. He's trying to. Mosquitoes are so gross. So, what do you have? Look at that stinger. He was just dying to give me an itch. Mosquito on my dick. I got a little itch. His name is Joe Biden. I hope Joe Biden's not itching my dick. Maybe I can word that differently. Like he's got an itch on his dick. Donald Trump just destroyed him today, by the way. If you didn't see Donald Trump's speech for Labor Day, he's like, Biden don't have a clue about trade and China, and he doesn't. And the stock market and all that stuff. Like he's literally just going to raise taxes, and that is going to destroy the economy, because if you raise taxes, people can't put money back into their business, and the business can't flourish, Joe Biden. Donald Trump knows what the fuck he's talking about money. He is in control, literally, of all the country's money, and there is no better person on this planet that I'd be more than happy to give them reins to. There isn't anybody who's close to as good as him on a ticket anyway, so you gotta vote for him. You have to. I don't want to get this into that, but anyway, who is this prep thing, right? And this all has to tie together. So mentioning that is still relevant, because people are like, the people will say, some people will say it's Trump that starts the riots, and then we're on the side of but he's trying to send military and help, and they are denying federal aid. So, it's like, are they starting it? And then you see what Biden is for, and you just, who is the big player here? Who is still the person that we just haven't seen that's going to put this thing over the top? Because when Trump wins, that's when I have a feeling that things are going to start to get really bad. Because even right now, you're experiencing Trump hate. It's Trumpers and hate you. They hate you and I don't hate these people. I don't want to do harm. I'm not putting political propaganda up on my Facebook, like in Instagram. Like this one girl today, she had a back of a truck painted, and it said, F the N-word, right? And I'm like, wow. And she's like, if you support Trump, then you support this type of thing, and racist is all in this Republican Party, and that's what you support, and Trump supports it, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, that might be one person who's clearly got issues. And she said, and I even wrote her, I'm like, no one stands for that. No one stands for that. And I just don't, and these people are taking it to another level. They believe it so much. And I would like to have a conversation with some of these people, and they refuse. Like another person, we were going back and forth. She messaged me first about the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, and when we started talking about that, and then she put something out about Biden, and it was like, no. And I'm like, you should get your facts right or whatever. And then she went back and said something, and I'm like, well, let's have a conversation then. Enlighten me on some of his policies, and maybe you can change my mind. And all she did was block me, and that's all they do. They don't have the mindset, and they don't have the emotional strength to believe in anybody else's ideals. Like, I would be more than happy for somebody to convince me of Joe Biden's ideals, but unfortunately, he just doesn't have them. And I have all of them right here in this newspaper. Well put together by the Epoch Times. They put out this huge, so don't tell me that I don't know and haven't done my research. And I even bothered to look up these policies that Epoch printed, because I wasn't 100% okay, well, this is what they wrote, but is it accurate? It's got to be on this page. Is it on this page? Yeah. So here it is, guys. It's the Trump-Biden. This is the Trump-Biden policy layout, and it's awesome. Is this camera on? Yeah, it's awesome. And some of the policies that Trump have already been, implemented. They already started doing them. So, yeah, these people just don't want to conversate. They don't want to be. It's just like, you're wrong, I'm right. Boom, done. End of story. I just can't stand anymore people who can't talk to you. It really is a problem for me that people just can't talk back and forth about problems and solve them, because there's no emotional value through a text message. And I think that's where you get so much hate through people on Twitter and stuff, and they go back and forth, and they don't realize that, some of the things that you're saying could hurt someone, So, yeah, we don't know who this big player is yet. Like, is it the Democrats? Is it Trump? Is he causing it? It's just, who do you believe? And as Americans, and as somebody like me who is I'm just trying to survive this shit. And, for me, it's pretty obvious who the enemy is, right? It's like, but in their eyes, they're doing the right thing. So, you always have to think about both sides. And that's one thing that's the biggest problem and the scariest thing with these people who want to associate everybody who votes for Trump with racism. Everybody who votes for Trump is going to, say and write those things and stands for those types of things. And that's a scary place to be, because I don't have any room to change her mind, because she refuses to talk, or he or she, it is a girl, but, they refuse to talk to you or anyone about, listen, here are the facts, this is what it is. Like, why do these people so convinced? Like, that's my biggest thing too. It's that I'm really trying to understand why these people are so convinced that the country isn't being run properly, and all these things. Like, I don't understand what it is, and it's scary to think that, to not understand what these people are thinking, because it just doesn't seem rational. It seems like maybe mental health has to do with it. I mean, in reality, if you're going to put all Trumpers in a Trump section and say everybody stands for everything that Trump stands for, and Trump is a representation of his people that follow him, they're a representation of him. So really, most of the people who support Biden, if not all, have some kind of mental instability. And I honestly think some of these cities are getting, and you could see proof with Portland. Some of these people, these camps, these Antifa camps, and the Trump guy, there was a guy who went and found where they're being taken care of. They're allowed to have a tent city, and these are the people who are causing the riots. Protest, but 5 or 6 people in the crowd scream and throw a rock and say, F the police, that amps up people at that time. So that's the thing, and these people are getting funded by someone. So who's the player here? And that's the scary thing also that you don't know. So there's a lot of variables, and that book kind of makes you realize that, because there's so many different fractions. There's the cartel, there's the president, the army, there's a rogue part of the army. There is, and you have to be willing to accept the fact that there may be, in a time of distress and civil unrest, and the whole entire world is collapsing, because this book's about the world, but in the United States, essentially, you're an island, right? You're cut off from Mexico and all that down there in South America, but because of Trump's wall, I guess, or whatever, but the cartel is going to block it off. They're going to take over everything. So there's going to be so many different fractions. And then you also have people in prisons, and then you'll have cops, and then you'll have all these athletes, and just people who could do amazing things. Think about people like David Blaine, or even people who are con artists, and what some of the people are going to be capable of doing in a world like that. And I don't think most preppers understand that when 7 million people leave a city all at once, there's a good chance that your little barn or shack is going to get raided by 500,000 people. So that's just the reality situation now. It's going to spread out. If you look at the map, you can see if big cities are going to spread, their only way to go is not to go south, but they're going to have your occasional dumbass who wants to go south. Although if it's a thing like that, there's people from the south are coming north. We're going out of Florida, especially out of Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, all those states. And then you got New York City and then Maine and all those cities on the coastline of the Atlantic. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to fucking go. And if you go straight through Pennsylvania, you're going to hit the Appalachian Mountains. How many of you are ready for that? I mean, I know, me personally, with the gear I have right now, I could do it. I could absolutely 1,000% do it. Eating would be the problem, and getting out of here early enough to realize, and that's the key, because sticking around to see, oh, maybe it's going to work. No. You have to get the hell out of the city instantly before anybody else will, because there's really, where I'm at, I'm in a very strategic location, by the way. The highway's right there. The highway's going to get jammed, but what's closest to the highway is the railroad. And I know that people are, oh, the railroad's the dumbest thing you could do. It's actually, I think a lot of people are underestimating them, and I think there's going to be people that can find it, but I honestly think it's the safest place. It's honestly 100% probably the most strategic place. I mean, you're kind of down low, you're hidden. If you leave at night, there's so many places to hide. I think the railroad would be ideal, and I think anybody that you cross, you're going to have to shoot, to be honest with you, in that kind of situation. So it's, and you got to think about that. Like, that's some real shit. And this book just, like, it's like, it just gives you that instantly chaos. Just like chaos, And I don't underestimate the chaos of these cities. And that's an EMP. But, like, that's, guys, if something like that happened right now, or say when Trump won the next day, EMP, boom. That an electromagnetic pulse is something that will destroy all electronics, shut down all the power grids. If all of our main power grids go out, we're done. It's a total blackout, total anarchy, martial law. That's it. It's every man for themselves. And then on top of that, all you need is a few bombs to go off or whatever. So this book is so good. It's so good. I really think you should get the book. So it got me thinking, really got me thinking about the overwhelming impossibility of getting out of a situation like that. Right? What the fuck, guys? Like, you really got to think about it hard to not believe, like, what I'm saying. Like, because I know that you got to have hope, but I think it's really unrealistic to think that you're going to get out of the city alive if you wait too long. And don't get my thing twisted. You can survive this. You could do this, but you're not staying in the city. And the road out of the city is going to be a place that you're going to see death. You're going to see disease and sickness. You're going to see animals. People who's starving. Rabid animals and dogs. Like, even what do I do with Storm? You got to think, like, what are people going to do with their pets or dogs? You're going to have hungry dogs roaming the streets and shit and eating people's faces on the ground and, getting sick and then biting you, rabies, disease. You don't have these things. You're dead. Hospitals are backed up. You got to get out of the city anyway. It's just like, there are so many things that can go wrong. But that's if you leave too late. If you leave early enough, you're going to avoid all that. But the problem is, like, are you, how do you know? Like, what are some of the signs? I think for me, the first sign would be, the first sign is we're going to know is when Trump wins. How the country reacts at that moment is going to defy the next 4 years, okay? When Trump won last time, there was riots, and when he wins this time, I suspect it's going to be really bad. I suspect that if you are found out that you're voted for Trump, there may be lynching for that. Public lynching. Who knows, guys? Be careful who you talk to. Be careful who you let in your circle. I mean, this is the time where we're going to need to be smart and stick together. You have to outsmart these people. Don't get in these political wars with anybody who's on the left. and who has ideals that meet Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and socialism and, the country needs to be burned to ground and Black Lives Matter and this and that and the other thing. And if you vote for Trump, you're racist. And if you are for the flag and you're a patriot, you're a racist. And, all these different things are you're going to have to stay a bit ahead of the game. So get your facts straight. Do so much research on everything. And prepare. And I think one of the most important things is going to be always water. Have some guys. You're going to need water. So that's always going to be a number one prep is water. And it's looking like just by the events that unfolded in the last few weeks, like in Kenosha with the shooting and the kid. Just based off that's not even martial law. That's not even, guys, that's not even a smidgen of what we're talking about here if government collapses and there's uncontrolled, like you're talking about, this is a kid just running, getting chased, people are chasing, he has a gun. People don't give a fuck if you have a gun. So unless you have a gun, you better be willing to pull the trigger. And that's what the kid gauged, I think that was his thing. He might have had that gun unloaded. I'm honestly thinking that he had that gun unloaded. Because if you guys know as gun owners, he had a rifle. So he was a threat against you as well. So you could have easily have shot that kid and been probably, well, he was a felon, so he's fucked. But if he would have shot that kid, he was fucked because of that. But if he wasn't a felon, you got to think, like, that's still self-defense because the kid had a rifle. So I think he didn't have the gun loaded, and I think he just tried to scare the kid and think the kid had the balls, although he just pulled the trigger a few times and shot somebody in the chest and in the head, apparently. I guess you still don't know if that's... I haven't been keeping up with it, so I don't know. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure he shot the dude in the head, but you're going to chase this person? It's almost like your gun's not even going to matter. So it's almost like I would say that the people who have guns are going to be targeted. You're going to be targeted. If you're walking around with an AR-15, a plate carrier, you're going to be targeted by everyone if you're not out of the city in time. And how are you going to get out of the city with a plate carrier and a gun strapped to you, like when it's too early to leave? Because you're talking about something that could happen in an instant. Let's say, like, you're going to have to pick up on right when, like, if Trump ran, he wins, there's riots everywhere, things get worse, and you have to be the judge there. Like, do I leave now? Is now the time to leave the city for maybe we go somewhere, anywhere? In the suburbs, just out of the city. Just somewhere, even the suburbs is very dangerous and going to be really dangerous, but people in the suburbs have a lot more supply. They have probably a few more days to do an analysis of how far the damage is going to be. And then from there, the plan would be, all right, family, whoever, we have to now leave the suburbs because if we have to make the decision early enough before the entire city does the same thing of millions of people. And... that's the reality situation, guys. It's just going to be... It's really what I think prepping is, and prepping is this anyway. It's in a way you're predicting the future. It's staying a step ahead. So I don't want you guys to just stay a step ahead on gear and ammo and guns and all these things, but stay a step ahead on the games that they're playing on the internet. Don't get in these battles. I went to a restaurant, one of my favorite restaurants in Philly. And I'm not going to name what it is, but one of my favorite restaurants. And I go there to have a turkey burger, like I always get, and there was a trans she or woman, and then the other girl looked Antifa-ish. I don't want to... They just fit the narrative, right, of what you see on TV. So it automatically gets in your head. I don't want to judge. They were very nice to me. But I had this overwhelming, uncomfortable feeling that just the way I looked and presented myself, I had the bike, parked up my bike, had my tattoos, and my bike's very badass looking. It's not like your typical, like, city fucking hipster bike. It's fast looking. It's aggressive looking. It sticks out. It's like, that's different. It's got the, BMX bag on it. FTL, follow the leader. Shout out to Billy Perry. Dope-ass BMX rider. So it's got this very aggressive look, and I sit down, and I just immediately felt like so uncomfortable around these people and where I was at. And I was sitting there, nobody who was eating had a mask on, and everybody who walked by, because it's outside dining, had a mask on. And it just felt different in the city, guys. The vibe felt very unwelcoming. And I felt this feeling, and I felt to myself, I need to reanalyze what's going on. I think it's such the quiet. These people are everywhere where I live. These people who will do harm to you if they find out you're a Trump supporter, mainly, like, and just by like what happened like before, and just I don't know, guys. It's just really getting crazy, and I'm gonna stay super safe. And there's things I'm not gonna talk about. Probably talk about on Patreon, how I'm gonna set up and what I'm gonna do into more detail, as far as like prepping for this and getting ready for this. And I think it goes beyond the typical prep that you see with people with food, water, energy, and stuff like that. So I think in ammunition, whatever it is, trade, you could trade for, if you're a collector of cigarettes. I'm collecting cards right now, something that I've really been interested in. We'll talk about that a little bit at the end of the podcast, but when we start talking about maybe things that get your mind off stuff. But yeah, like I really think this is more of a psychological prep. You have to really prep your mind for the fact that you're not even close to knowing what's actually going on here, and nobody is. And you're gonna have to pay close attention to everything. So anymore, the studio, if you haven't noticed, I'm doing some changes probably. Well, I guess you haven't noticed yet, but I did move the desk forward. I have plans for that wall. I have plans for this wall. This is new here, and this is gonna be like more like a war room type deal. It's how we're gonna set this up, guys, and I want you guys to experience that. And it's more like a man cave studio / war room type. Let's figure this shit out together. See where the evil is. Try to find where, and do it together. And just try to find where the threats are and get out of these situations and be able to understand each other and warn each other if we see certain things. Send links, send stuff in the comments. Let's work together, because there's 10,000 people now on Hard City Raindrops. We have a small army of our own. We have a small army of our own if we all get together and think alike and really use our minds, for better or worse. If we don't always agree, it doesn't matter. As long as we can come up with some kind of solution to the problem together. And this is the beginning of the new Civil War. I think that the movie's going well. I think that what happened? Okay, we're still recording. So, half hour went by. Whew. We're getting into it, huh, guys? Oh, yeah, sometimes you need a little break, and just crack on. What time we got? 9:55. I'm not going to cut this out. Just need a little breather. What's going on in this movie? This movie is fantastic. But anyway, yeah, so I feel like we don't know who the big player is, and we need to do understanding of more of a psychological type of understanding of these people. Don't try to reason with them. And I know go Trump, whatever, scream people's face. He's gonna win. He's gonna win because he's not taxing the rich people, and that makes up a very large amount of votes. And, there's a lot more rich people than there are poor, or people who don't want to lose money. Because all types of people, including myself, are invested in stocks. The stock market affects everything. It affects even middle class, lower class. There's people betting their lives on the stocks, too, that are in the lower class, middle class. It's just, if that goes, that's going to be number one sign that it's time to go. You're gonna, and that's gonna go February, March-ish, if Biden wins, maybe even sooner is predictions. I think sooner. I personally think it's going to be instantly because he's not going to be able to maintain what Trump has going. Trump is building momentum right now with the stock market. People are going back to work. Nancy Pelosi's going in and getting her hair cut with no mask on. People are hanging hair dryers on her tree out front of her house, and that's hilarious, by the way. It just makes you see, it just really makes you see the power these people think they have. And that is something you don't see from Trump. We know he has power. We know he has someone come into his house and cut his hair, which is fine. I did that too. But she is literally spitting in everyone's face. She literally spits in the faces of her voters, and they still support her. These women, these hardworking, I know so hardworking women that are just completely fooled by her. I don't know what it is about her that has people convinced. I don't. And that's a scary thought as well. Like, she is so there's just something not right about her. You look at, I know some women can look at some men and, say, oh, there's something wrong with that guy. There's something wrong. But there's something fucked up with Nancy Pelosi. I would have to be extremely stoned to talk to that woman. She is mind-blowing retarded. And it's not like I'm just saying that. I mean, look at what she did. Like, how stupid do you have to be in a position that you're in and go and do something so reckless and dumb during the election? It's almost as if that right there caused Joe Biden, like, millions of voters. So, who knows? And who knows, did Trump give her $200 million to do that? Maybe. No, of course not. Of course not. She's just fucking dumb. But maybe I should watch what I say, or that's what they'll blame it on. That'll be the next thing that they try to take the focus on. So, we really got to be careful. I think, but, continue to every week get something different canned, whether it's 10 cans of food or just try to get, there's freeze-dried stuff's coming in the mail now fairly decently. I have some stuff from Nutrient Survival, which we got to try, take a look at. Actually, let's take a look at it now. I guess we could say that they sponsored the show today. They actually sent this to me, so let's see what we got. And they sent this, you guys can't see me, huh? That's okay. So they sent this box of nutrients. This is Maple Almond Crunch Grain Crunch. So I guess this is just something you would put in your bag to snack on, like a peanuts or something. It's supposed to be survival food that's really tasty and actually really good for you. It's actually good. I do enjoy that. Not too much of it though, maybe. Kind of tastes like oatmeal. Southwestern Meadly. Do you just eat this stuff or sample? Come with cooking directions or something? Come with a really nice box. It's not steel proof, but you could put a rubber gasket around that and make it home style scramble. So you would put this in your bag or pack and have it for a while. Just keep it around the house. How long is it good for? I wanted to sample. We're going to try this egg one. I don't know when, but we'll do a separate video on this. But, yeah, this is Nutrient Survival. I'll tell you what, guys. Here's a cookie. Peanut butter bar meals. And we got oatmeal raisin cookies. We'll try one of them. Creamy chocolate shake. Lots of stuff in here, man. And hearty apple cinnamon oatmeal. Really cool. And then we got two more things. Wow, they've really hooked me up here. More cookies, honey granola bar meals. it could come in handy. I mean, just throw a couple of those granola bars in your pack. Or just keep some of this stuff around the house for when the food supply train cuts off, because, that's one of the scariest things is that the food supply train cuts off, guys, and that's going to be it. That's going to be it. So that's nutrient, survival food or whatever. And I can tell you right out of the gate that this that mix stuff or whatever, where is it? This one? Maple almond grain. That is really good. I actually really, really enjoy this. Storm. It's stuck in my beard. Need some water. I do have some, I don't like this one. This is Chad Mendez's bison. Ranch bison. Not great, but the elk meat one is wowzers. What one do we have here? We have honey bar granola. Peanut butter bar meals. Which one did we want to try? Let's try the honey granola. Or should I just save this stuff, guys, for like when I'm really starving? Yeah, they want me to try it. We got 2 in there anyway. Yeah. I'd have to be starving to eat that. Literally. It's not great. Give it a second chance. But it's not terrible. 12 grams of protein. 8 grams of sugar. Lots of sugar. That little bar. And that's what it is, giving you a little boost. 220 calories. You're gonna need them calories when hiking. You're gonna need them. I'm burning. Definitely not bad. There's this one too. This is the chocolate grain crunch. Was also very delicious. But nutrient survival food. Also gave me this guide, which basically tells you how to make everything. Breaks down all the vitamins, minerals, omega fiber. Proudly made in the USA. Our ingredients are GRAS certified. So this is it's pretty good company. They really, the presentation that they gave me was really nice. It's a really nice pamphlet with lots of very good information in there about what you're putting in your body during a survival situation. So I wish I had a discount code for you guys. I don't, but at least I got to show you something cool. And maybe we'll talk about them to be an official channel sponsor, because after we try some of that stuff, and we'll do a little presentation like that in all the survival type videos we do. Okay, so food's super important. You're gonna need to stockpile that stuff at the house. One thing that I think people don't understand, and so many regular people, they want to go out and get batteries and this and that. You have to be stockpiling food, and I'm guilty of this. My food supply and water supply is a joke. It's an atrocity. I spend so much time buying dumb shit for the channel, and I myself need to start waking up. I myself need to start waking up to the fact that this isn't starting to look very promising. I feel like I just jacked my hair up so bad. I'm gonna put a hat on. Hi. So yeah, I feel like the food stores would probably be empty in 3 days. And one of the things that this book really touches on is the fact that there were so many unprepared people. He knew what to do instantly. He knew it was an EMP. He trained for it. Only cars that aren't electronic will run and start. And there's things even now you could do. You could put your phone in a Mylark bag, and you could drive an old truck like I got that's doesn't have a computer chip in it. Actually, maybe it does. I don't think so. 97 Ranger, maybe it does. Let me know. Maybe it's just carbureted engines, but where are you gonna find them? You got to really look pretty hard to find a carbureted engine. So truck people have them, but batteries will be fried too. So unless you have a fresh battery that didn't get affected by it, then you're fucked transportation wise. So you're gonna need to hike. And I think a lot of people have go bags, but a lot of people have shitty ones. They don't have good quality gear. And I'm really starting to dial in my bag. I went through so many different bags for it, and I just haven't been able to find the one that just is perfect for just getting out of here for a really long time. I got the 72-hour, I got the go bags, day bags, and 1-dayers and get home bags. I have them nailed down to a T. But those long overstay ones, need a little work there. I need to do a lot of work, and the time is now. So if you're not seeing that now, and it's been like that, and I did pretty good in the beginning, and I do have probably more supply than most people do, if you really want to, get technical. But I don't have as much to meet my standards, and I have this whole big list of things I'm gonna do. And one thing I know I did talk about is my new plate carrier setup. And I tried to get the HESCO plates. Unfortunately, you can't get them right now. It's ridiculously hard to get plates right now that are quality. Sure, I can get AR 500 plates or whatever, and have a 20-pound plate carrier on, but no thank you. And that's without the mags. So I think I'm gonna get them probably from. I'm definitely getting polyethylene plates, but we'll see who from where and who, and I'm working on that still. So the HESCO ones didn't work out. They told me that they're no longer able to ship them because they don't have them anymore, the warehouse. So this is my plate carrier, though, and this is from Cry Precision. This is the Cry Precision 2.0. It's not complete yet. I don't have the front placard for the ammo. I don't have a med kit on there yet. This is a basic, really nicely made plate carrier. And I got batteries in there for the AR right now for the flashlight, and I have a flashlight on the side. That the batteries up here are the flashlight for my AR, so the Surefire, and then I have a backup flashlight here. And so as far as gear goes to defense, self-defense, my defense is top notch right now. I mean, I don't think my defense can get any better other than building a wall around a house. My defense is very strategically laid out. The position of the house where I got it on, and the reason why I got it here is a perfect exit route out of here. There's an escape route. There's from the house and a certain direction where I would go, where nobody would see me. So there's a lot of things that I did, and the reasons why with this house is perfect for moving. I could have got a house anywhere in the city, So it just met all the needs, and it's also on the outskirts of it's not so far deep into the big city. It's pretty bad, but it's pretty close to suburbs as well. You're looking at 8 miles, so not bad. And if you go the other direction, you're going 12, 15 miles right into Center City. So really, you got one way out of here, that's it, and it's the railroad. So. And that's my option for it, and that's just the way I would take. That's just the way I'd take it. And, you put that on YouTube now, everybody knows. I mean, what the fuck's gonna be the difference? Everybody's gonna go probably there anyway. There's gonna be people fucking everywhere. That's what I'm saying. If you catch it early enough, it shouldn't be a problem. And the problem is catching it early enough. And even if you catch it early enough, the situation's gonna get worse as more and more people die, as more and more people figure out that the West is where you're going to find sanctuary, and that's also where you're going to find resistance from people who own property, who won't let you in, who are defending their property. You're not talking about a zombie situation. I doubt you may come across people who will, and for me, if I was a guy, let me just say, if I was Cody from Wrangler Star, if I had that huge amount of property like that and something like that happen, he's gonna get people coming to his property. So for me, I would give these people a skills test before they could come in and live there. And like, here's a skills test. What can you do? What skills do you have? Are you a threat? And you can never come out of people, and this is why I did a couple videos and deleted them, about like manipulating people, but not manipulating to the point where you're lying to hurt them. I mean manipulating them and to getting information. So don't go at people like you are a threat. Like, so even people coming, a lot of people are going to come to get sanctuary from all these places. You're talking about, the population of New York and Philadelphia coming in one direction, in one direction. And then you're also looking at Boston, and that's not a small city, and cities like Tampa and Miami and Atlanta, guys, like these big cities are going to go one direction, west. And they're all going to do the same thing, because if they go south or one goes north, they're going to meet in the middle, and it's going to be a bloodbath. And because there's going to be starving people, hordes of people walking along the highways. It's just, and then all you need is one more thing, like a bomb or something like this. This book gets increasingly worse than the book I'm talking about, because not only is there an EMP after that, there's a nuclear attack, and it blows up like all the cities. And everything is just insanely realistic. Like, I know you see these Hollywood movies about like, oh, fucking EMP and then a nuke bomb, but like, this is so realistic, because it's not over the top. Like, a nuke bomb went off, but people are still alive. But also, like, a lot of people are dead. Like, there's dead people all in the streets, and it's just a really horrifying thing to think about, because it really seems like we're fucking close to that. Now I'm watching this movie called, what's it called again? I forget. What is this movie? Dang you. Oh, well, not important, but the movie was pretty good, too, because it's, like, very, like, much like what would happen as far as if there was some kind of bombing or strike or something like that. And when, honestly, I don't know what these Democrats are going to do, and I don't even want to fully say just them, or, is it them with, and we still don't know who the other player is, but, you got to look at all angles here, guys, because who knows what the fuck's going on. Just be ready and stay away from these riots and the looting, and don't try to save these stores and stuff. Just, you need to build up your prep, be smarter than these people, build up your preps and study, learn everything you can. You have to absorb the incredible amount of information that's on YouTube right now that's still available. So I would even say start downloading books and Audible and saving them onto like an MP3 player. Invest in an MP3 player, a good one. Get like a solar charger so you can always have power to your device like that. And download just a bunch of stuff on how to like pick berries in the wilderness, or survive off the wilderness, or skin an animal, or hunt, or do things like, or just get books and learn and go out and do it, or just watch these videos and download videos on some kind of file that you can always get to look at or something. I mean, if it's an EMP, we're in trouble because electronics are going to be useless. But if it's something just like another virus that's 10 times worse, or rioting in every city because Trump won the presidency, and then explosions go off and people start doing bombs and buildings are blown up, and we just don't know. We just don't know what's going to happen. Just make sure you're staying a step ahead of what's going on. Just because the rioting and looting is mainly important in Wisconsin and Houston and wherever else, not in Philly. There was a little thing in Philly last night, but was like an every night thing here. But so, you got to pay attention to these things in these cities, because what happens there is probably, going to just follow suit. It's going to follow suit. I say suit because I got cards, like all these cards. And one of the things that I thought that was interesting about the card thing that I got into was it just fit the narrative of having something in my bag that was going to occupy my mind off of the fact that the world's ending or whatever. So I really started getting into cards. And I've only been playing around for a few days, guys, but I already can do some pretty cool, just things that I have never been able to do. So of course, like something like dribbling cards is so easy, right? Like this is not hard, but it actually took me a few hours to learn to do it, and just until today, till I was able to do it like this, and kind of get it real nice and flush. And I'm still working on getting farther and farther doing it. So that's the next step, to just get farther. But it's really hard. You got to do it and just kind of do it and go for it. And you got to build a lot of confidence with cards, and it's just have fun with it, because they are a lot of fun. I do like a good deck of cards. And so what I did was I went and got these bicycles, and these are just stock ones. I actually just picked these up today, but my very first cards that I bought to get into cards is the White Lions from David Blaine. And I think what started this whole thing was watching him on Joe Rogan and just being instantly impressed by his ability to do cards. And I don't know, I wanted to learn it. So I got his deck of cards in the White Lions B-Series, and magicians and cardistry artists are rant and rave about how great these cards are, and they are really nice. And they're beat to shit now, because this is my first deck that I played with, and I really learned a lot on these, and these are going to be cherished forever for me, because these were my first cards that I learned how to do. I think it's called a top shuffle, and then Hindu shuffle, like the top. This is the top, and it's just something magicians do that makes it look like you're shuffling the cards through, but you're actually just pulling them right off the top. And that makes cool for a cool trick, because you can always just be like, you know, if you have the 8 of diamonds and then you do the top shuffle, you know, it's always going to be the bottom card. So you just throw them on the bottom, like you shuffle the cards, and then you pull it out, and you have the 8 diamonds, and it looks like you just did something so fast. But, you know, like I'll show you in the other camera, we got the ace of diamonds, and then we go ahead and we do the shuffle, where you kind of get it in like a dealer grip, and you just pull it off the top. And you get better at this, and you get faster at it, and it don't really look like nothing, although I'm probably flashing the ace. It is on the bottom. And you just kind of real quickly get it and make it look like you just pull it right out of the middle of the deck. And it's just so much fun to learn something that I didn't know anything about. And now, like, I'm just obsessed with it, and it's been really helping me with this, like, recent, I guess you could call it a breakup. I mean, it's just another one of those situations where I like someone, and they had a change of heart, and, you know, I've been getting better at dealing with this. So I just, you know, found something that was going to take my mind off her, and this is what it was. So, and then also this fits into the prepper criteria, right? You can prep with these, because this just clears your mind so much. And when you're out on the open road, and you're going to need some sort of entertainment, and, you know, I know it's like one of those things. It's just like, you know, you're really going to sit there and play with cards one night. But yeah, I mean, you never know. So I just kind of thought that, hey, I needed a deck of cards anyway, and now I got 6 of them. So yeah, the David Blaine ones are really neat. I really like these cards a lot. What's the other thing I've been trying to learn how to do too? Oh, the one-handed rotating cut. I think you grab it like this, and you grab your thumb, and you kind of like lay them down and do this, and then you can do other moves with it. And I can't wait to learn it. I've been practicing so much, guys. Anyway, we got totally off the subject of prepping, but these are the David Blaine cards, and they are really fun to play with, and I'm really glad I bought them. What I'm not glad about is that I used them so much that they're just so blah. Like, look at them, they're just, you know. And I went ahead and got some brand new set of bicycles, and, you know, I can't fully give the credit to the David Blaines. I do have these black bicycles, and I don't like these cards too much because they look really cool, you know, when you fan them, when you do like this type. Oh, if I actually showed the suits, that'd be nice. If you fan them out, they look really neat, and look at how nice and even I got that. Like, I was never able to do that, like, yesterday. And I don't know. It's really cool. And you can even flip them and do all kinds of neat stuff with cards, and it's just so much fun. Look at, like I can do these little waves and stuff now. And I never was able to do that. But, yeah, the black ones I used in practice, and they're shot the shit, too. I don't use them as much as the Blaine ones. And it's because I just don't like the way they feel. You know, they just don't have a good feeling to me. So I put them back. And they're really hard to see and control with the color they are. So I think maybe a more advanced guy would probably like these. But another thing I don't like is they're still white cardboard, so they get marked up on the edges, and they kind of look like shit. So, no, I don't really like the black with the black face. I don't really like all them crazy, like, faces. I like just the regular faces on the cards. No, nothing fancy, just a real nice clean deck. And that's what these are. And these are my brand new, these are just the red bicycles, just you get at Walmart or Target. These are the blue set. Didn't open them ones up yet. They're still sealed because this is going to be my new practice deck. My David Blaine deck is retired. I'm just going to play with this occasionally because I like them so much. I'm going to get another new deck of them. But, and probably get more decks of, the David Blaine series. But as far as me practicing, I guess I already tortured them, but it's harder to do. Like, I can't do the fan with this. I can't fan with these cards. They're just tortured to death. And these cards are a brand new deck, and I can already starting to get better at doing a fan. And I just, that's one of those things I have a lot of work to do still with it. I'm just trying to build the confidence enough to let go of the cards enough to where I turn them and spin them. But I'm dropping them. They're really slippery. These cards are fun to play with too, and it's not that they don't have the they don't have that edge like the David Blaine ones do. Like, they're just a little bit more, just for playing poker and down the shore. Cards always bring me back to that time when I was a kid and we went to our shore house, and I never played with the cards. I didn't care for them. But my sister always would play. She would always play solitaire with herself and just hang out with and play. We always had played chains with my stepdad, my mom, and me, Nick, Jenny, my sister. We all sat around a table. We played poker, and those were some of the best times in my entire life. And look at how clean that looks, guys. Look at how beautiful I just did that. Oh, I almost got it. I almost got the flippy. Wow. So, I'm just really enjoying getting in the cardistry, too. Like, I might even just do a whole another podcast episode on this. But I just wanted to let you guys know that this is something that I've been taking up just to clear my mind a little bit, and then I fell in love with it and didn't expect that. And it's sometimes, when you get yourself in certain situations, like I did with this girl and some other things going on too, I needed to find some. Started watching Chris Ramsey, and then I eventually started landing on some other videos. And just went from there, and I couldn't stop. I couldn't put them down. Actually, I can't put them down now. It's so hard to put a deck of cards down when you want to play with them. And, once I pull them out, it's like I just want to do some tricks. But I'm not that good yet. I just know a few basic skills that you should know, And I recommend just anybody, if you're going, even, people look for something, a hobby to do. Like, they can't find a hobby. And maybe you just need to pick up something as simple as chess, or doing puzzles, or cards. I mean, for me, I do all three. All right, I got puzzles here. This is the hourglass one. This one has turned out to be really fucking hard, and it's very difficult, and I have not figured it out. And even watching the video, and I'm never going to do this again, and I'm never going to look at it again, but I just took a glance at the video on how to do this, or, get some pointers, because it's so fucking hard, and I'm new to puzzles, and I got, the hardest one Hanayama makes. And, even watching the video didn't help. I have no clue, so I'm going to really get my mind to get this thing open one of these days. This one's a little bit easier, and it's just kind of like a little triangle thing, and you can just kind of shake it, and that one pops apart. I think you could do a spin. You can kind of spin it apart as well. I've seen people do that after I opened it. I've seen a couple guys do different things with these, and that's that one. And I also have the UFO one, like the sphere. And then I'm building my own little puzzle here. Comes with a bunch of directions and keys that lift up a box. And I was going to give this actually to the girl I was talking to at the time. I was making this for her. And I don't know. I guess I'll give it to my mom or something. Or I'm going to send it to a subscriber and make them try to figure it out. You know what I mean? Or if you guys make puzzles and want to send me puzzles, kind of figure it out too, which would be, it'd be really fun. Let's just figure it out and do something different. I don't know. Anyway, that's going to be it, I guess, guys. The only one other thing I do want to show you guys with this badass flashlight that I got, and that's something going to be in a video. This is the Hard City Edition O-Light. Look at this thing. Like, just monstrous. Absolutely monstrous. So lots of things to do videos on for sure. These type of flashlights ain't gonna help you in a prep situation, are they? They're just gonna run out of batteries, and eventually you're not gonna have any way to charge it, and it's gonna be fucking useless. It's like a giant paperweight. Get a really good AAA flashlight or AA, and that's the way to go, because every house in America is gonna have AA batteries. No one's gonna have the fucking battery for this thing. So, you can get a solar charger. The key is going to be to stay light. Maybe just a solar charger and have nothing else than fine. And I do have a solar charger. But anyway, I can't even stop thinking about how good that freaking book is. It's like, it really makes you think about, like, where people get, like, how do you think of something like that? That's so real. Like, you could try to think of all these problems that could happen, that could put us into a bad situation with, what we're dealing with now and leading into something worse. There's just going to be so many different people you're going to have to deal with. There's going to be so many people that are going to want the same thing and try to do the same thing you are. You're just going to have to stay a step ahead of all this shit. That's going to be the only way to survive this thing. Stay a step ahead of everything. Don't get emotionally trapped into ideas either. Like, especially other people, what they're saying about you, or people who message you and want to go back and forth. And, it's best to just be totally gray man. At this point on, I mean, you're playing gray man now. You have to just keep to yourself, keep to your family, and just kind of let them be their own demise. Let them end their own shit. Because if you go out there looking for trouble, you're definitely going to find it. 100%. 100%. Ask Kyle Rittenhouse. He went out there, probably didn't realize, but he was looking for trouble and didn't know it when he brought that rifle out of his house. And, it's going to take an enormous amount of intelligence to get through this. So if you're hot-headed and you get easily bothered and, you can't keep your cool, you can't outsmart someone, you can't get over the fact that they're not agreeing with you, and you want to go back and forth, and you get mad and block people that, don't agree with you. You resort to violence when they're, getting you under your skin. You just got to be a calmer person. You're not going to win in these situations. You're not going to win. They're going to hang people. They're going to hang people who they catch that are visible Trump supporters and voted Trump, and maybe not literally hanged, but who knows? How are they going to do public executions like that one guy did in Portland? I mean, that's literally what he did for being a Trump supporter, and that story's nuts. That story's nuts to hear about. You don't hear about Trump people doing that. And you only heard about Trump people doing that after they did it to try to cover it up. Like, oh, we don't do that. Only you do. It's just nuts. It's just so nuts how so many people are thinking you got to be smarter than that. And keep your calm. Keep your calm. Keep to yourself. Don't let a lot of people know about your prep. I mean, of course, somebody's going to say, well, you're doing it on YouTube. You're going to be the first. It's real hard to figure out where I'm at. I mean, I'm sure if you wanted to, you could find anyone, right? I mean, I'm not hidden so much, to say, but, I'm not welcoming anybody to come try. But, like, I don't see that as me giving away location. You don't see addresses. I don't ever give away the section of the city I live in. It's a big fucking city. A lot of people here. So, and I don't give away what I have. I mean, people know I have something, and everybody has something in this city. There isn't a whole lot of poor people in this city. I mean, the way the news makes it look, whatever, but this is a working class, blue class city all the way through. And there's a very limited number of rich people, but there's a lot of upper middle class. A lot. Like almost everyone in this city is upper middle class, meaning making over $100,000 a year. Okay, they make over $100,000, and that makes up the majority of this city. And we're all gonna get taxed like crazy if Joe Biden wins. If you're really rich, you're really fucked. And that is not how you... And most people that have that kind of money own businesses. You know, most of that markup pay is from a business they own. That's probably not even their money. So if they can invest the money into the business because you're taxing the shit out of them, businesses won't flourish, the economy will crash, and Joe Biden doesn't know fucking shit about how to run anything. He's been doing this shit for 40-something years. I mean, 49 years, Christ, you would think he would accomplish something by now, right? Nothing. And, you know, if there was somebody who had some basic ideals, like there's some things that Trump doesn't do right, I guess, but I don't see any reason to take him out of office right now. None. And I don't know, man. I think, you know, he's got to have security, like, out the wazoo. Because did you ever see like these movies like where the presidents, they want to have takeovers, and I think House of Cards did something like really close to that. Cards, when we're mentioning 2 cards, referencing cards. Anyway, House of Cards, really good. Who is that guy? The creeper looking up women's skirt guy. What's his name? He's a great actor, but he's a fucking weirdo, and you can tell. Even in real life, you're like, you're a fucking creeper, dude. You pet dolls in your basement for sure. Gosh, I can't think of his name. Anyway, it doesn't matter, but I guess, whew, how long we've been going? 1 hour and 9 minutes. Long podcast for you guys. Lots of stuff, lots of prep stuff, lots of cool stuff. I got off subject, maybe. I tried to keep it on the card thing. Maybe we got off subject a little bit, but I just wanted to give you guys a little insight of what was in front of me and why I choose to take up this hobby of playing with cards. It's a lot of fun. Lots of fun. This deck is so bent that it's bending the box. There's just a special word for the box. Cut deck? Cut something? I forget the name of the box. But having lots of fun. So let me know if you guys are into cards, and maybe we'll do a video just on cards. I have some new ones coming that I ordered because I like cards so much that I ordered some cool ones that are like, maybe a little bit hard to find in some cases later on in life and maybe worth some money. So also another thing that I want you to try to do is figure out a way to have money outside of the economy. So whether it's your gold, whether it's an ammo, whether it's cards or cigarettes, or because people will trade a deck of cards for, a pound of sugar or something. If you're bored out of your fucking mind. You know how many games you can do with this? This is all your entertainment. This is most people's entertainment. Probably, if I would have learned this at the beginning of COVID, I would have been a master. Even though I wasn't so much on lockdown, but when I wasn't working, there was nowhere to go downtime because everything was fucking closed. So in a way, I just was in quarantine too. Everybody was, so it kind of sucked. It still isn't great, but gosh, especially at that restaurant, I felt so uncomfortable. But anyway, I forget what I was saying. Cards. House of Cards, something. Did you guys like that rap in the beginning? Should I end it with a rap too? Alright, I'll try. Nah, I don't think so. Nah. Puzzles and cards, and this podcast is interesting, but that's going to be the end of it. I hope you guys... Oh, I did want to say something about prepping, but I forget. What was I just talking about? Oh my god, this is the hardest part. When you're doing a podcast and you just fucking forget and bomb and you're like, fuck. Because the podcast is over now, I'm just ranting about random shit that comes into my head. So even if I had the podcast planned out like I did, I say something different and I'm like, oh, that's what I meant. I didn't even realize. I think I think the number one value thing is because I don't smoke, so I'm probably gonna buy maybe a few cartons of cigarettes and just have that as a trade thing in case it comes to a situation where I need to get out of this. I did wait too long and didn't call it right and stayed in the city, and then I need to find a way out of the city, and money doesn't exist, because even during just a simple freaking COVID bullshit, the Mac machines were always tapped. It always takes an hour or 2 hours to go to the supermarket, or you can't go to a fast food restaurant nowadays. It's literally a line going around a freaking building. You'll wait for 25 minutes, half hour, 45 minutes for something that used to take 5. 5 minutes. Everything takes forever now. And because of that, more and more people are going food shopping. So they're backed up. Everything's always, it's been okay, but I don't know, guys, man. This shit can go so quick. It just makes you realize how fast everything can just boom. Because it's only going to take one more thing. It's only going to take one more thing. It's like, where do all this meat come from? They have so much meat. There's so many people to feed. There's so much meat. One thing I did want to talk about? This might be the biggest point. I want you guys to learn, and this is something I'm going to do, learn an alternate way to keep yourself in shape. So if all you do is eat overweight and you don't eat healthy, or you indulge in the fact that food isn't scarce right now, and you indulge in gluttony, it's a sin. You need to train yourself to limit the amount of food you eat, but still stay in shape. You guys need to go to the gym. You need to be working out. You need to be running. I ride the bike. I run sometimes with the dog. We're going to start running next week. Actually, tomorrow. Tomorrow I have the COVID test. I had the COVID-19 because I have to get a camera shoved down my throat. And I've been feeling fine, actually, ever since I went to the doctor, so it's odd, but I still want to get checked anyway in my throat. I have heartburn problems. Then my stomach's been hurt. I got an ultrasound on my liver, and just getting checked up, and I have to get the COVID test, or you can't get the procedure done. So, yay, COVID. I think it's bullshit. I think it's all such bullshit. I don't know, guys. I haven't met one single person that has it. I've had a lot of hearsay, but I've never met anyone that had it. Everybody's like, I know somebody who had it. This person had it. I'm like, I don't know. I never met anyone. I know there's people who are famous, tons of people who had it. Robert Pattinson has it right now, our Batman. No, Batman doesn't die from COVID. Oh, Hollywood's over again. Anyway. But yeah, guys, train yourself to be more successful with food. Like, maybe spend a few days eating like these, like armies or stuff like this. Just see if you could do it. And also go to the gym, constantly work out full body workouts. Don't just do arms and legs and chest press. I've been doing a lot of squats to overall build my body mass overall. Lots of squats, lots of back workouts. I've been slimmed off the chest big time because my back is like always like, somebody brought this up in the comments and I respectfully agree. He noticed my back, and my back is not as strong as it was, so I'm getting to work. Thank you. I appreciate constructive criticism. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole. But if you say something that makes sense, I'll agree with you. Just fucking people don't do that enough anymore. Anyway, I hope everybody becomes a fan here. We have room. There's room for everyone in this army. I will call this an army. This is a fucking army we have here. Hard City Army. And this is our badge. A badge of unity right here. Of all colors and race are welcome. All over the world at Hard City Raindrops. Right, guys? We have people everywhere here. This is a worldwide army. I'm a general, for fuck's sakes. The Wolf General, right? I've nicknamed myself. The Wolf General. I know, I'm making a fool of myself. I know I'm writing a play. How dare you? I want to tell stories. You guys think it would be fun to be like a story time about stuff? I have this whole idea to write a prepper's book, doomsday book, but I don't know. I think we should end the podcast, though. That's for sure. I'm getting kind of tired. I kind of want a bowl of cereal. I recently can't wait to try this stuff called Magic Spoon. You guys ever heard of Magic Spoon? I saw it on Whitney Cummings' podcast, and they were talking about it, and I instantly bought it. I spent like $74 on fucking cereal. See, this is what I'm talking about. That cereal does me no good if the world ends. And, see, I didn't need that. I want to try it because, maybe the world don't end, and I want some Magic fucking Spoon. So that's the other part, too. Like, don't get too crazy into this prep world. I'm pointing over here because that's where all the gear is and prep stuff. But if you get too crazy into that, you will be lost and you won't enjoy life. And it's very hard to get ahead if all you do is worry about the future. If all you do is worry about the future, it's almost impossible to live in the moment. It isn't. No, if all you do is live in the future and worry about the future, it is impossible to live in the moment. Because you're not living in the moment. You're living in something that may or may not happen. And it's the same thing that girl just did. She lives too far into the future of maybe we won't get along, maybe we break up, I don't want to get hurt. Instead of just living in the moment with me. It's just probably something I should have said to her. But I did. Maybe she'll watch it one day. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for the podcast. Like I said, we did a lot. This is a long one. It's like friggin' a long time we did here. So we got like an hour and a half long. Just rambling. What should we label this podcast as? Because anything I say, it's like I get shadow banned. So I do appreciate it if you guys would share it. That's definitely the number one thing that is going to help this channel grow is the sharing and the comments and the likes. I need the likes. Like the video. My like to dislike ratio is always amazing. You guys are always amazing. But, for some reason, man, I don't know. Facebook or fucking YouTube just... I don't feel like my channel's bad. I don't feel like I'm pushing views on the people. I don't feel like I'm given a fair chance at all to have success in YouTube. And I get tons of comments by you guys that are saying, like, this channel should have so many more subscribers. And I hear other channels say, subscribers don't matter. They do matter to me. Like, everything is the subscribers. People who say subscribers don't matter are only worried about the money. That means the only thing that they're worried about is if they're making money or not on YouTube when they say that. And Steven Crowder says that. So Steve Crowder is only worried about making money. He doesn't give a shit about the subscribers. And he says it when he says, and I'm a fan of him, but I don't agree with that statement. Subscribers mean everything. Without your subscribers, your channel's fucking nothing. So, he literally makes an intro of it. Of course, we know subscribers don't mean shit, so if you can... But they do, though. Just because you're not making money off the subscribers, which you are, actually, so they do mean everything. So really, it's kind of a dick fucking thing to say. I think you maybe should rethink about that, and I don't know how many people ever catch that, but me, I think it's mainly YouTubers are like, yeah, dude, but that's how you get paid. Or that's not how you get paid, but, like, that's how you still get paid. But, like, yeah, what the fuck do you mean? They don't mean anything. Then what's the point of even coming on here and talking? You're talking to money? You're not talking to money. You're talking to fucking people, man. So, I don't know. I take it very seriously that you guys get inspiration by me and you listen to what I say. You take advice, and I take advice back. And I think it's a very healthy environment to be in that we have here, because we are not limited to one direction or one view. This is an open-minded channel where, there's always positivity in everything. You have to look at the positivity in everything. And I even tell people, like, when they are going through a breakup, like, the positive, like, even when in the beginning there may be some hard times, and you got to look at it like the positive. There's a positive to everything. Oh, so freaking wow, what a podcast. Anyway, guys, so yeah, share, like, subscribe, hit the bell. I know the bell helps. If you get the bell, you'll know when I put videos, you'll get the email. I'm going to start my own email list. Thank you, everyone, so much for the Patreon. If you want to join, that's great. If not, that's fine, too. But I'd rather you join so I can start making content on Patreon only. If you guys join the Patreon, YouTube is going to be secondary. I only have 5. I don't want to say only. That's huge. Thank you. But at the same time, in order for the Patreon, for me to do it, people have to go. I make a video for 5 people, but it's hard for me, and no disrespect intended, to make a video exclusively for Patreon. So when only 5 people are getting it, when I need to get the message to more people. Like, you know what I mean? So I think for right now, if we get past 10, we'll start doing it bang, bang, bang. But, and not saying I'm not going to do it. It's just, it's like this video is going to go on Patreon, but only for one day, and that's going to be on YouTube. So we'll get it early. So I'm giving early access. But as far as Patreon-specific videos, I really want to get that going and seldomly use YouTube. Every now and again, Patreon will be the main thing because, you know, we can all learn a lot, and I can learn a lot and benefit a lot from being able to do more videos because I'm making the money and not getting shadow banned by AdSense because my videos may or may not be harmful to whoever's watching, which is ridiculous. But so anyway, thank you guys. I do appreciate it. I hope that made sense. I don't know. I'll probably watch it and be like, okay, it's not too bad. You get a pass on that, William. Anyway, guys, I love you all. Have a great evening and rest of your week. Happy Labor Day. I love you all. Peace. Killed it.